Now, over the last 200 years, koalas have had a whole host of issues. They've been attacked by dogs, they're hit by cars, they're affected by disease, bushfires, and of course, habitat loss. Especially after the recent bushfires, there's been 10 million hectares or 25 million acres burnt. Now more than ever, suburban habitat is going to become important. So what we're going to do in this video is share with you 5 ways that you could make suburbia, your part of suburbia, a little bit better for koalas. Hopefully, they can eke out a living there while the bush regenerates a little bit. G'day. It's Nick here and welcome to Wicked Wildlife. And like I said, this boy here, his name is Harry. And Harry is just one of the koalas in care here at Southern Koala Rescue in the Adelaide Hills. And today, me and Harry want to share with you 5 ways that you can help koalas. So the first thing you can do to help koalas is make your backyard koala safe. And the first step of doing this is deciding if your yard's ever going to be koala safe. There's 2 avenues to go to. And that really comes down to the first thing is if you have a dog. You see, if you have a dog at home, it's not the end of the world. I have dogs, I love dogs. But if you have a dog in the backyard, you want to look at a way to keep him separate from the koalas. Even the most playful, friendly dog can be a serious issue to koalas. So if you have koalas passing through your yard, you have a dog, you want to be looking at either putting them away at night time, keeping them indoors, or providing a koala-proof yard or pen within your backyard where you know that they're not going to give the koalas any issues. Now, if you don't want to do this, or you're not in a position to do this, that's fine. Not everybody can lock their dog indoors or build a pen within their backyard. But in that case, probably the best thing to do for your local koalas is keep koalas out of your yard so that they're not coming into your backyard and being impacted by the dog. So some of the ways that you could do this is you could remove or lop trees that are on the border so that koalas aren't able to climb over the fence. You don't want branches hanging over the fence that a koala might climb over, drop down, and meet Fluffy. The other thing that you should be doing is making sure your yard is koala proof. And a fence like Colorbond, something with tin that they can't climb up and down, is going to be a good way to keep koalas from climbing in. So if you've got a dog, you can't keep him contained, koala proofing the whole yard is the most koala friendly option. If you don't have a dog, or you're able to contain your dog, the other major danger for koalas in backyards all around the place is swimming pools. So if you do have a swimming pool, there's a couple of things you can do. You can place a branch into the water, so if a koala falls in, particularly on hot days when they're chasing a drink, they're able to climb out. Failing that, you can get a big thick hessian rope, like the stuff they use on boats, tie it to a tree, something outside, and have that draping into the water. It gives the koala somewhere safe to climb out. Even better, just like we said you could use a Colorbond fence to keep a koala out of your yard, your pool should be fenced anyway. It's common sense, it's safety with kids, you've got to fence your pool. You may as well make that fence koala-proof. Things like a glass fence or a Colorbond fence will keep koalas out of the pool and keep them safe from that as well. If you do this, however, it's also a great idea to provide some water. They might be coming in because they smell the water in the pool. It's nice for them to have a water dish at the bottom of the tree or something in the backyard so they do have an alternative source. Speaking of pools, that brings us to the second thing you can do to help koalas, and that is offering water. While there's a bit of a legend that the word koala means no water or doesn't drink, because koalas very rarely come to the ground and drink, it's a myth that they never drink. Particularly during heat waves, when it's so hot that koalas just need the extra moisture, or during droughts, when the eucalyptus doesn't have enough moisture in it to live off, koalas will certainly come to the ground and drink water. Now, you don't want to offer koalas water in water bottles like you see people doing in cute videos all over the internet. The issue with koalas, like Harry here, is he's not designed to drink water from coming up above his head. Put it in a bowl like a bird bath or something down low, leave it there permanently, clean it out every couple of days, and he'll have somewhere to come for a drink on a hot day. So offering water. Number 2, another really simple thing you can do to make your yard koala friendly. Number 3, you could plant koala food trees. Now, it's not as simple as just going to Bunnings and buying eucalyptus and putting it in the backyard. There's 700 species of eucalyptus in Australia. Koalas only eat 50, and in one given region, the koalas are probably only eating about 10. The best thing to do if you want to plant food trees for koalas in your area is get in contact with your local koala carer. If you're in Adelaide, contact Southern Koala Rescue. These guys here will tell you what species of eucalyptus the local koalas are eating, and you can plant those ones. Now, if you don't have a backyard where you can be planting food trees for koalas, there's just not enough room. Or if you've got the dog and you don't want to attract them to where they could get hurt, or you live in an apartment, there's plenty of ways you can still plant trees. Join in with a group like Conservation Volunteers Australia, your local land care group, something like that, and they will have days where you can go and help plant trees in public areas. Now, with all the bushfires that's gone on, the more food out in the public areas, the better. So you can still plant trees, help koalas somewhere else, even if you can't fit them into your backyard. Number 4. The fourth thing you can do to help koalas is to drive carefully. One of the biggest threats that koalas face in suburban areas is cars. And the sad reality is, when we add fire to this, koalas have to move to new areas. And we're going to have even more koalas crossing roads. And cars provide a big issue for koalas. These guys don't look both ways, and they often end up skittled, and unfortunately their babies end up in a facility like Southern Koala Rescue here. So if you are driving in koala habitat, maybe leave a little bit earlier. It means you can drive a little bit slower, keep your eyes scanning the side of the road, and watch out for these fluffy guys crossing the road. If you do happen to see a koala hit by a car, or you unfortunately hit one yourself, it happens. There's a couple of things you can do. You can have a towel on you, and ideally something like a pet pack or a plastic tub, where if you have to and you're able to catch a koala and bring it to a vet or something like this. Failing that, not everybody can do that. Always a good idea to keep the number of your local wildlife rescue. It means that if you do get in a situation where you can't help, you can at least ring somebody and get somebody with the know-how to come and help the koala, because no poor guy like Harry here deserves to sit on the side of the road because you didn't want to call anybody. Koala carers aren't going to blame you. They're just going to be happy that you've called them and let them give the koala a hand. And the fifth thing, of course, that you can do to help koalas is to help out a wildlife carer. Groups like Southern Koala Rescue here, Port Macquarie Koala Hospital, hundreds of koala carers all around the country could use a helping hand. There's a few things you can do to help. Some of them, they're able to take in volunteers. They might need somebody to rake enclosures or to cut gum leaves or to wash branches down. All sorts of things. If you can't volunteer, there's plenty of ways you can donate. You can donate funds, money. You can donate your time by volunteering. You could donate supplies. They need pouches, they need milk, they need all sorts of things to look after these koalas. So donations are always welcome. But it is a good idea to contact your carer and ask what they need. With events like the recent bushfires, some koala carers, they're mostly based out of private homes, they're being overwhelmed by lots and lots of the same donation that they might not particularly be able to use. And while they do their best to share it around, it's still a good idea to check what they really need and make sure that your donation is doing the most benefit it possibly can. Another way that you can help a wildlife carer is if you do live in koala habitat, or you've got the right gum leaves in your area, you can offer that your property to be used to cut gum leaves. Or you might be able to cut gum leaves yourself if a koala carer has showed you which ones you need. Because a koala like this fella here, who might be in care for 12 to 18 months, is going to eat a lot of gum leaves. And koala carers spend an awful lot of their time searching for this stuff. So if you have gum leaves, if you've got time, money, supplies that you can donate, there's lots of ways you can help a wildlife carer. The biggest way though, and the most maybe underestimated way that you can help a wildlife carer, is give them your thanks. These guys work day and night all year round. They don't have Christmas without work. These guys spend all their spare time and their own money caring for our wildlife. And it's often a thankless job. And a really simple gesture, if you have to ring a koala carer or any wildlife carer for assistance, it's really nice to just thank them for the work they're doing. Because so many Australian animals need their help, and they're doing it off the shirt off their own backs. These guys put their hearts and souls into it, and we might not have adorable animals like Harry here without our fantastic koala carers. With that being said though guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you're enjoying all our videos from Southern Koala Rescue here, and if you could do us a favour and check out their Facebook page. They've been so kind to let us come here and film with their adorable koalas, and they could certainly use your support with all their koalas coming into care. The last thing is, please, if you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, or check us out on Patreon, because your Patreon funds is exactly what managed to get us here to the Adelaide Hills to film these beautiful koalas in care. With that being said guys, I'm glad you enjoyed the video. Check on back next week, and as always, be nice to wildlife. Have a good one and take care.